Now, I'm a little sick, so I don't sound good. That's the reason why. But besides that, let's talk about Ramshackle, the animated pilot from the YouTuber Zediza. Now, Zediza, her animated pilot was sort of kickstarted by a couple years ago, asking for $80,000 to make this animated pilot, and also give a tip. This is actually successful. She making more. In fact, in this pilot, she does confirm she making more episodes. But this is not the first time she makes a animated pilot. In fact, if you look at her channel, she does make a little shorts here. There, most of them are 1 minute, 2 minute long, little short films of her favorite characters. They'd probably be Skip, Stone, and Vinny. And these three characters is basically her favorite character to actually use in her own shorts. And in fact, it really shows how much time she has with this dynamic of trio, especially developing this specific universe. Now, the world this character lives on the animated pilot called Ramshackle, if the city is what it's called, is about these three characters who are basically orphans and live in the streets. They have no home, they have no family, they have themselves. Even that you never seen the rest of the shorts or rest of the short film she did, this animated pilot nails each character character development in other words. Because for example, Vinny, and I think it's the best example of the show is how she talks and acts the rest of the trio. That Vinny is probably the most violent, is more aggressive in how she actually talks. In fact, she's the only one who actually cuss the most of everybody. The rest of them don't really cuss, only her. Showing her she's sort of the basically the dominant one, the one who gets things done, the one who makes plans while in trying. He also have a good hatred of the rich. Once more, you know her very little of this short, but even that the way she talks and moves, you get her. You get her position of this trio. You also have Stone, that you really don't know much about Stone, but you could tell he is basically the right hand man of Vinny. That how he acts, how calm and relaxed. He's the man who sort of ask him what you need, he will give it to you. And that type of character you really get to know, even this party understand what his position, his calm, collecting, quick to think, but at the same time waits to Vinny's orders to do anything else. Even that he's sort of the common sense of the group, he's there for the group. Here, there for Vinny and Skip. Now let's talk about the third and final character of this group. Be Skip. Now, Skip of the whole trio, he is sort of maybe the heart of the group. He's sort of kind and sweet, but also very vicious when he need to. He's no pushover. In fact, none of the trio are pushover. They're very kind of violent because they need to be violent because of certain area they actually live. Basically, they're actually pretty much ghetto, but more like they actually do are love with each other. They actually act like a family, even as close as friends, either or how you choose to read it. But that's what makes it so endearing about this trio. You understand the dilemma. In fact, how you put them in the very beginning of the first part, the first minute, they were sort of struggling to find food. Even that they actually had food reserves, they just don't know where they left it, and they're sort of freaking out. Oh, where we get to eat? Shoes again. Just great. And yet, that's sort of great world building, but at the same time, understanding what their dilemma really is on that moment. Understand what they need to do to actually survive of this specific world. Even how they build this sort of world, how people are more obsessed with their clothes, fashion, basically rich people. And they kind of hate them because they usually, nor by them. Even though they don't go as deep, you have a great idea what the pilot really show of this world. Now, before I get started even more, my name is Recho. I like to talk about animation. Not just animation, do reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, I do like you put a comment, like, and describe if you like how it's going, because one of those things really helps my channel. It's sort of obvious. I'm sort of close to 800, 900 some right now, and I hope every little thing you do, put a like, comment, subscribe, one of those things really help even more on my channel. If you do, I am completely grateful if you do, especially all my new subscribers, people who comment, people who like. Thank you very much. Of course, if you don't, that's fine too. Now, let's get started of this review in the pilot. Now, in the RAMSHACKLE pilot, they really put a dilemma of the trio. They actually found a baby. Even that they started looking for food, especially what happened to the beans, they sort of accidentally find this baby. And that's sort of normal for them, but they're sort of arguing what we do with this infant. We should give it to the orphanage, right? And they started arguing with each other. Maybe not. Maybe we should actually keep it and stick with us as a group. But the only problem is, and that's what make it sort of interesting, that specific problem, that they were sort of talking, they barely feel themselves will be more difficult to feed this infant. So what the best dilemma or best situation we put this infant is to give to the orphanage. But a little bit they sort of started arguing, maybe not, maybe we should stick to this baby, making one of us. And that's sort of very endearing because the whole pilot, it slows down to really give an understanding of each character, what they sort of feel what to do with this infant. You could tell how each character get closer to this new member of the group, especially they're trying to figure out what to do or how to use this baby to actually help the group. Now, this is a point that everything should be more comical and really builds about the whole pilot. That they attempted to teach the infant sort of tricks of the street to convince rich people to let their guard down, but also kind of getting more close to the infant, but also pointing out how ridiculous they actually are, how maybe not fully smart, but at the same time they doing what they have. And I think that's the funniest thing of this pilot and the endearing thing you actually see. But I also love they also showed the baby is not a normal infant. In fact, they point two specific things. One, how the demographic of the rich people and the poor people, how they see themselves. And at the same time, you understand the sort of kind of divide of this city. But also adding, they have a sort of supernatural thing going on in this world that they don't really explain, but it almost seems that sort of normal for them. Something like maybe flapjack, in other words, that sort of weird things happen, but it's just sort of normal. They don't question it. And I think that's one of the most interesting things because later on this pilot, the infant was sort of try to grab someone's attention so the kids actually steal something from a rich person. But they sort of stop themselves because they want to correct this lady how to treat their own child, because how they trying to make her sort of a doll, make her sort of be a pageant kid, and that sort of disturbed them, and they sort of stop everything just to correct her, or at least point the irony of the situation. And that really showed another to this group. You could see they're rough on the edges, but they actually more decent humans than the rich people or the other person of this city. And something a little sprinkle in this pilot, every little bit of this. It's just sort of something you really see on this group of kids. They are good people, but the scenario is they do horrible things to survive. But this is the point the supernatural thing happens. The infant eat the adult lady out of nowhere. And the kids just accept this. Like, nobody questions what this infant, how he did it. Till the very end, you find out why. But it's something that they don't really care because, once again, it really shows this is sort of normal. During this time, the baby sort of kind of burps a paper. This paper showed the Passion Award about 50 fancy kids, and decided let's put our baby or our baby brother in this pageant so that he can win and feed ourselves. But doing this pageant, you really show how demeaning these kids really are about their families, how their parents treat them, and you feel that sort of kind of weird access to be the best, to be fancy, to be rich, and how Vinny snaps and freaks out how they treat the kids, especially his new member of his group that points out, yeah, no one really cares about this, stop doing to these kids. But I love it. She did it her own way, her own ghetto violent way to say sort of things to get basically a point across. But they completely went wrong because all the spectators just freak out, point out, you are not one of us. Why are you trying to be in here? Once again, trying to make that sort of very divide line how the rich and poor see each other of this world. But I love it how violent the rich people became about Vinny. But it really points out Vinny and her group how this is normal for them, but they're a scrapper type of group. They survive. They not just survive, they actually love this. They do not care. They are a unit. Each character show how skilled they are. And also, this is just normal for them. This is just fun chaos for them. They try to make a point, but they can have fun. And that's what endeared me so much about this group. If they go down together with kickles, gags, and laughs, but with violence. But they don't care because this is just fun for them. And that is just endearing because they will fight for each other or this group, doesn't matter what, until out of nowhere the infant evolves to this sort of angel. If you don't know, if you've seen the pilot, this sort of kind of circular thing is sort of one of a different interpretations of an angel. The fact is the art they chose or the character design they chose is probably the most highest angels of the ranking system of angels of Christianity. And I'm sort of surprised they choose that specific design. But it really explains what this infant was normal. But also love this angel points out this world is sort of condemned, specifically this city. There is no helping it. But it gave him inspired more about Vinny and his group. They're the ones who prove in this kind of environment you can be kind. Because of this, they reward the kids, killing everybody off who attempted to hurt them, but also feeding them a bunch of beans they attempted to look for. And the angel sort of disappeared. It's one of those sort of, okay, that happens, but a very fun, unique way. And I love it, they sort of have this moment of, what just happened? But in a very fun sort of way. Because at the very end, they just don't care. They just want to eat and figure out what to do in the next day. But that's basically what happened in the pilot. Now, this pilot is very endearing, very likable characters. You have enough time to understand them, the reasons what they do things, and how they survive every single day, but it never feels sort of depressing. This is just another adventure to survive with a bunch of friends. And that is just the fun thing about this pilot. But I really do enjoy is the art style. The art style is just sort of unique. There's sort of that feel, that vibe, that sort of kind of 18, and I would say 1800s, but a little bit more earlier, like early 1900s, between early before that sort of development. They finally getting cars, but it feels just sort of dirty, but it feels right. They really give that vibe that you need to survive this world, and that's what I appreciate the designs and art and the architecture of this world building. But it's something that really just stands out because it does complement the story. Now, the rest of the whole thing is just great. I actually endear and love this. In fact, do you like this pilot? Because I probably review the next episode whenever that drops out, because I really enjoyed this group of gang, that who they are, what they need to do, and I wonder what the direction of this show will be. But I don't know, it could be just a simple, fun little thing, or it could develop even more, I just don't know. But I'm here for the ride. In fact, how you felt about the pilot? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Tell me down below, let me know. I got nothing else to say, just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye.